Today we're going to talk about the perfect sous vide egg and how the Sous Vide Dash app can help you create a beautiful egg like this in your sous vide bath quickly and easily. The way we're going to cook our egg today is using the fast cook method that Sous Vide Dash supports. You can see we've selected that at the top, and we've selected a final internal temperature of 62 degrees and a water bath temperature of 77. The interesting thing about the fast cook method is the idea is to use very warm water, in this case 77, to cook the whites fairly thoroughly, but do so quickly enough that the internal temperature of the yolk allows it to remain at the consistency we desire. In this case, we've chosen 62 degrees, which will give us a creamy jam-like, not quite runny consistency, but still something we can spread on toast. So as you can see when you look at the graph, the gray line illustrates that the surface temperature will rise very rapidly given the heat of this water. The black line shows that the core temperature in the center of the yolk actually stays quite cool for a while and then accelerates upward and eventually reaches the 62 degrees at which the egg is done. However, when it reaches that temperature, it's important to note that we're still rising at 2.3 degrees Celsius per minute. So it's critical in this method that you take the egg out precisely when it's done. And that's different than a lot of other sous vide cooking methods. To see what's different about this cooking method, let's start by looking at what's the same. Here we are in the middle of the cook time, and as you can see, we're approaching 8 minutes remaining, and the temperature is rising rapidly. Just crossed 27.6 at the 8-minute mark. We're rising very, very rapidly. In fact, we're rising at over 6 degrees a minute. As we'll see, we're getting down to the 7:30 mark coming up, and when we get there, we'll be approximately 30.8 degrees or so. So in 30 seconds, 3.2 degrees Celsius rise. This is really the heart of the cooking time in any sous vide method. You see the curve rapidly rising. You can watch the dot moving up. May not be quite as apparent in some of the longer 3, 4, 5-hour cooking times, but certainly in something like this, you see the temperature rising very, very rapidly. And in fact, as we approach the 7-minute mark here, we're going to be about 34 degrees, it looks like, by the time we get there. 2, 1, and yes, we are. So that's in the minute we've been watching it, we've gone up 6.4 degrees Celsius. So quite a remarkable increase in the temperature of the yolk of this egg in just a minute towards the middle of our cooking time. And now for what's different. In the final 30 seconds or so, the temperature is still rising rapidly. In fact, the app tells us our final core temperature slope is 2.3 degrees Celsius per minute. This means if we leave our egg in for a minute longer than we should, it'll actually be 1.15 degrees hotter in the core than we expect. And that will radically change the texture of the yolk. So in this respect, cooking here is very much more similar to something like broiling a piece of meat after it's come out of the sous vide. The timing is critical and it matters a lot. To me, the precision time is worth it because it produces the egg I want to eat every time. The beauty of this technique is if you prefer your yolk firmer or your white firmer or runnier, either way, you can adjust the two temperatures and get exactly what you want.